And we are back live once again for the LFC Transfer Room. A predicted 11 today. I'm joined by Charlie, Adam, and Owen. First of all, fellas, can I start with you, Chaz? How are you, mate?
Yeah, good man. I've chilled out a bit since the disaster class. Just vibing. Yeah, I'm decent. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. If we do have to edit this, can we just insert Curtis Jones clip here?
No one's editing
it. Adam, how are you, mate? You good?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. I'm the same as Charlie. Chilled out since Saturday, but yeah, Christ, let's not have another repeat of that soon.
And Owen, mate, we discussed the match yesterday. How are you feeling? Are you confident for Porto?
Yeah, I've kind of gotten over Saturday, but it still hurts. Yeah, I'm fairly confident.
Yeah, definitely. So what we're going to do today, as we do for all of our predicted 11 streams, is sharing our little Photoshop PSD here. Let us know if you can see it, boys. Can you all see that?
Yeah.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. So we'll start off with the goalkeeping position, if I can get it back up again. What are we thinking, boys? Does Caoimhin Kelleher make an appearance, or are we sticking with the main man, Alisson Becker? I don't think there's any debate here.
Bring Adrian in.
Yeah. Adrian. I thought you said main man. I was like, say Adrian,
yeah. With Kelleher, I think it'll be similar to last season. If he does get in the Champions League, it'll be when we've qualified. But until we're qualified, I think Alisson all the way.
Yeah, definitely. I think Alisson will start. We'll leave the number one there. This is an interesting one. He didn't have his greatest game defensively on Sunday. Trent Alexander-Arnold, do you think he remains at right back? Nico Williams is back in training, of course. James Milner is also filled there. Are we sticking with Trent for Porto away?
I would say yeah. I think I don't think any of them really had a great game on Saturday. I don't think it can really be pinned just on Trent, to be honest with you. And as it was kind of pointed out, the lads around him didn't really do a great job to kind of, give him a bit of help. So I think he has to be given somewhat a benefit of doubt. But I don't really see any reason why he shouldn't be going back in, like you said there, Chris. I know, Nico is back in training, but I don't know. I still think if anyone is going to start ahead of Arnold, like you mentioned, it could be someone like a Milner or maybe even Joe Gomez. But I think, yeah, considering that Trent missed one or two games there because of illness, I'd imagine he's going to start again.
Yeah, get your comments in on who you think will start there. Is there a view, though, Chaz, for Milner to start on Tuesday, tomorrow, maybe to rest Trent? Or do you think Klopp will stick with Alexander-Arnold for both games?
I think he'll stick with both games. I think especially Trent gets better the more he plays. I think if we had another backup who was Simicast level like we do with Robertson, I think he'd swap them out. But I think due to the fact that there's no competition there, he has to play Trent pretty much. And it seems like Nico Williams has fallen out of favour massively with Klopp as well. So, yeah, I think Trent's nailed on to start too.
Yeah. Last time out in the Champions League, Owen, we didn't see Virgil van Dyke. Will it be the same this week?
I think he'll play this week. I think now, I think he's played enough games to maintain that level of fitness where he can come in and play twice a week. Before, obviously, he only played a couple of games since his big return from that injury. So, yeah, I think Virgil will definitely play.
Yeah. Adam, do you agree? Will Virgil start tomorrow?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he's going to shift it up too much when it comes to the centre halves. I know we'll probably get to it in a second. Maybe Hugh plays next to Van Dijk, but I think he'll probably go in there. I think it's the same. It is a similar case to what Charlie said with Trent. I think the more he plays coming back after that injury, it's probably going to be better for him. So I think he should definitely be back in there again.
Yeah, he did get tormented a little bit by Ivan Toney at certain points on the weekend. But I think it'll be a good, hopefully a confidence builder, even despite Porto's form this year. Next to him is a bit more of a debate than the previous three. Joe Gomez played an excellent role against Milan and against Norwich. But we'll start with you, Charlie. Who do you see playing next to Virgil van Dyke this Tuesday?
Well, I don't think Van Dijk's going to start first off, but I think he's going to play Gomez and Konate and rest them for City. But if we have to go for someone next to him for our lineup, I think Konate is guaranteed to start tomorrow. I think especially the Champions League suits him. You know, it's very pacey. It's not as like dominant in the air, which like it's not more as physical as the Premier League is. So definitely Konate starts. I think Gomez is going to start next to him too. But if Van Dijk starts, I'm not going to be mad either.
Owen, are you Konate or Gomez or both?
I think it's a toss of a coin, to be honest with you. I'd probably slightly say Konate, but that would just be a guess, to be honest with you. I think both of them have great shouts. Both of them played really well whenever called, whether it was the Norwich game or, well, to be fair, Milan, Gomez didn't have a great game there. So I think probably Konate, yeah.
We'll go Ibu Konate. Adam, do you agree?
Yeah, I agree with the lads. I'm hoping Van Dijk starts as well, because I'd love to see him and Konate play together. I think that it looks like that could be the partnership going into the future. Maybe depending on how many games Konate gets in the next couple of weeks, but I can't imagine we would go out and spend the money we did for Konate to just be a bit part player. I'd imagine the plan is to have him involved big time next to Van Dijk. But again, it all depends. Like if Joel Matty keeps up his form, it's very hard to go and drop him. But I'd imagine, yeah, that Konate will get a shout in this game, and hopefully he plays next to Virgil.
Yeah, definitely. So going into defensive midfield, there's been several shouts on Twitter saying that Fabinho
We're
could
just skipping left back.
Huh?
We're just skipping left back.
I completely forgot left back. You know, it's just shocking form from me. His girlfriend just entered the room. So yeah, left back Kostas Tsimikas. Do you think he'll be reinstated, Owen?
Yeah, I think he'll come in tomorrow and play. Obviously, Robertson hasn't been on good form at all, so I think it'll be very, very interesting to see how Tsimikas plays. And then I think if he goes and has a great game, then he's definitely in contention to start against Man City on Sunday.
Yeah, I think that it's a ruling that if you play well, you play, especially if you're fighting for a position like that. Hopefully, Tsimikas can go and perform well if he can. Do you agree that he should start, Charlie?
Yeah, I think everyone thinks he should start, especially after Robertson's game on Saturday got absolutely destroyed. And, Tsimikas hasn't done anything wrong, really, to be dropped. It's just the fact that, obviously, Robertson has everything that he's done for the past, 2-3 years with us behind him. But if you're going on current form, you have to pick Tsimikas over Robertson, which is sad to see. But, it means you get to rest as well, which you never used to. And we get to see the Greek Scouser.
Greek Scouser. Same for you, Adam, or would you stick with Robertson?
No, I'd agree. I'd put Tsimikas in there. I think Robertson didn't have a great game against Brentford. I'd like to hope that he's just kind of suffering a bit of kind of, it's still maybe a bit of fatigue from just the amount of games he played last season and, playing in the Euros. I'd like to think that a lot of that is still kind of there. But, hopefully he can kind of get his form back. I think it's a good thing for him that Tsimikas is playing. I think he's the sort of player that if Tsimikas is getting picked over him, he's going to do everything he can to take himself to the next level and get a spot back in there. But, as the lad said, there's no reason why Tsimikas shouldn't be probably ahead of Robertson the team sheet at the moment for most games. He hasn't put a foot wrong, and I think everyone has loved what he's brought to the team so far. So, I mean, if he starts against Porto, I could see Robertson going in against City again. I don't know, but again, I think I'm getting a bit too far into it. But yeah, as the lad said, yeah, Tsimikas for tomorrow. Defensive
midfield, as I said so much earlier. So there has been some talk on Twitter of there being some rotation in that position. This just to rest up Fabinho for that role. We'll go straight back to you, Adam. How are you feeling? Do you think Fabinho will start, or do you think there'll be a different player there?
I think we can afford to maybe swap Fabinho out for this game and have him, fresh for the City game. Again, I suppose he was one of a handful of lads who didn't really cover himself much glory against Brentford. But it wasn't so bad that he should instantly be thrown out. I think it's more to give him a rest more than anything. All depends who goes into there. I'm not too sure. I mean, I'd probably take the safe bet and maybe say Milner. I think if Milner is fit and Henderson is fit, I don't think there's a need to have, Henderson in that role. I think Milner will be the smarter bet to come in for Fabinho for this game.
Yeah. Do you agree, Charlie?
No, I think Fabinho is going to play purely for the fact that we don't have many fit midfielders, and I think Jordan Henderson is going to be the one who's rested. Obviously, Naby Keita's travelled, but he's injured again, so I feel like he's going to. It depends. I think the midfield three is going to be Fabinho, Jones, and Milner. So I'd start Fabinho, and I think Fabinho is fine to play. Back-to-back games. I think if anyone can do it, he can, especially in midfield.
Owen?
Yeah, I think, Fabinho's almost nowadays sort of nailed on in that CDM role, isn't he? I just can't see it being any different for this game. Obviously, Man City, big game Sunday, but you can't go making too many changes. Is it 5 subs in this game? Because if it is, then take the players off. Don't rest players from the start. Take them off when we're winning.
Yeah, so I think on balance, I would also stick Fabinho in just for this game away from home. But yeah, I think he will play. I think especially because it's Tuesday, Sunday. If it was Wednesday, Saturday, that might be a little bit different. But because it's Tuesday, Sunday, he's got a little bit more rest. I would just about say Fabinho starts. Adam, going back to you once more, for the central midfield role now, Fabinho is playing. Do you think it will be Jordan Henderson ahead of him, or do you think there'll be other options?
Well, I think it's kind of I'd have to do a flip reverse kind of. I think if, as Charlie said, like it could be Henderson maybe on the bench and Fabinho starting. So because I'd have Milner starting, I'd probably suggest that Henderson will be in the team as well. I think he will start. But I totally agree with Charlie. If it is a case that Fabinho is playing, it could be Henderson. More than likely that will be taking the place on the bench. But I would expect Henderson to start this game. It's a bit of a tough one, It's not necessarily a bit of a headache selection for Klopp, but it's just how he's going to approach it in terms of who's going to start and who's going to start against City. But as the lad said, 5 substitutes. I think it's a kind of a toss up, really, like what kind of midfield he puts out.
Yeah, Charlie, you said your midfield too is Jones and Milner. Would you agree with that, Owen? On who, if not, who else would you put in? Of course, Naby Keita is now back, and of course, can always mention Oxlade-Chamberlain, as we always do.
I'm just trying to think. I don't think we've got any more options, really, to be honest with you. I just think, Milner, Jones it's pretty simple. I think Jones, after the game he had against Brentford, you just can't drop him, can you?
Yeah.
It's simple as that. He was our best player. And then Milner, he hasn't played in quite a while, so fresh legs coming in, and he's always going to do your job. You're not going to get any sort of, how do I put it, back out performances from James Milner. It's going to be all in.
Yeah, so we're going to, on balance, we'll go, I'm guessing that's your midfield as well, Charlie?
Yeah, that's my midfield.
Yeah, so Jones, Milner, Fabinho. Could be Henderson in there. Could be Keita maybe even. But I know Klopp doesn't like to rush players back, especially Naby Keita. Going back now into the forwards. I'm pretty sure there'll be some rotation here. I'm not sure we'll see Mo Salah, but we'll start in that right-hand side. Would you guys still start Mo Salah? We'll start with you, Owen.
Yeah. He has to play. Salah's our best attacker, in my opinion. On form as well, he's showed that he's our best player, to be honest with you. And, I think out of all the 3, I think he's the one that you definitely plays, for sure.
Yeah, would you start him, Chaz?
Yeah, I think Salah's the one who has to start. I think he thrives off scoring. You know, he's somewhat one of the players who doesn't need rest. As long as he's scoring, that's enough for him. Like, the guy's a machine. He never gets injured. He's he's played like 3 games a week since he's joined Liverpool. Like, I think until we get past the group, until we like are confirmed out the group, I think Salah is the one player in the front three who's nailed on to start every week.
Yeah, definitely. We've got 2 comments here from these guys. Mo Salah is involved in that one. Adam, are you also Mo Salah starting?
I'm gonna say no for this game. I think not that I think he couldn't play back to back, but I'd like to see similar to the way Origi started against AC Milan. I'd like to see TAKI MINAMINO come in and start this game. I think he could benefit from some minutes, and it would be interesting to see him against a more competitive side than Norwich, obviously in the League Cup. Not sure kind of how Klopp will set up, but I would like to maybe see Salah sit a good portion of the game out. I think we could afford to rest him, but coming back to the 5 subs, I think he'll probably feature in the game at some stage, even if he starts from the bench. In terms of, you know, like as one of the lads said there in the comments, I think, you know, Roberto Firmino wouldn't be a bad shout to start in the middle. And yeah, I suppose maybe possibly rest Jota as well for parts of the game. I think Mane could definitely benefit from more minutes than anyone else. I think he really needs to get his confidence back up again, and I think games like this could really be games where he could do so. It's a tough one. It's strange in a way, like, you know, that we have options, but it's not necessarily where you can say options like, oh, you know, we take out Salah and, you know, Minamino's going to come in and guaranteed score the goals. Like, we don't know that. It's unpredictable. The same with Origi, but I just think we could maybe afford to take Salah out for a portion of the game. Same with Jota, because I think as much as Porto will give us a bit of danger here and there, I don't think they're going to be as tough as opponent as AC Milan, and of course they have their own issues with injuries.
Yeah, definitely. I've typed in number 9 there because I'm pretty sure it'll be universal. Do we but all think that Roberto Firmino will be starting up front?
Yeah.
I think so. I think it'd be best to give him some minutes, especially after, well, what his injury, and, you know, getting back fit. Maybe he'll start for the City game. Who knows? Now this one's the debate here. There's 3 options really: Mane, Jota, or Minamino, or even Divock Origi if you want to throw him in there. Charlie, we'll start with you. Which one of those 3 are you going to go for?
Cade Gordon. Nah, I want to go with Minamino. I think he deserves minutes. I think after his display against Norwich, I thought he should have played a bit more of a part against Brentford, and obviously he didn't. So I think if he doesn't start him now, it's a bit of a disservice. I nearly couldn't say that word. Disservice to Minamino. Like, every time he's come on, he's been okay. Like, he always, like, you know, tries. He, like, runs off the defenders. He's trying, which he's not always scoring, but, you know, he's trying. So yeah, I'd give him a start 100%.
Owen?
Well, I think Firmino will start down the middle, and I think Minamino, if he's going to play, would be down the middle. So I don't think Minamino will play, and I think Jota will play. I think Mane needs a rest. He just hasn't been himself recently. I think I said it on here before. And Jota, he's played a lot of games, Jota has, and I think he always poses a real good threat going forwards. He always kind of is in those positions and is normally quite clinical. So yeah, definitely a player that I want to see there and that front three as it is.
Yeah, Adam, are you heading towards any side of that debate?
Yeah, I would agree with the lads. Like I get Alan's point about maybe resting Mane. He could also deal with the rest. I could see Jota coming in. I would agree as well with Owen in terms of if Minamino is going to start, it more than likely will be down the middle. So chances are, as we said, Firmino is likely to start. So there probably is a shout there for Minamino and Mane on the right as well. But yeah, I'd agree again with Owen. I think it'd be coming through the middle. So for me, it would be Firmino, Minamino, and Mane. Why he'd set up, I'm not too sure. It is a bit of an awkward setup with the three of them on together, but that'll be a treat for me anyway.
I'm going to do something on this PSD file and see if this changes any of your opinions. Wait there. Oh, I can't even do it. But what I would do is do that. Would that change anything?
Not putting Fabinho there, no.
I just think that as well.
Do you know, I wouldn't mind seeing a 4-2-3-1. I said it in the predicted lineup for what's his name for Brentford. I wouldn't mind to see it, but I think if we play that, then we have to play Mane or Jota, Salah, Firmino, and Minamino. You know, there's a chance he could come in on the left-hand side, but I think either Jota or Mane would play there. Look, I wouldn't say no to it. I just don't think it's going to happen. Because I think Fabinho has to start. Otherwise, the midfield's just unbalanced, and we don't have someone who can sit there and like basically break up play. But yeah, I wouldn't say no.
No, definitely not. But yeah, on balance and on voting and everything, that is the lineup we've got there. So Alisson in goal, Trent, Virgil van Dijk, Konate and Tsimikas, Fabinho, Milner and Curtis Jones, with Diogo Jota, Roberto Firmino and Mohamed Salah in the front three position. But anyway, we'll stop sharing that screen now. Thank you very much, boys. Well, before we go, though, I'm not sure whether either of you two on the bottom will be on the pre-match or post-match tomorrow. But I want to get your thoughts on the game. How confident are you? We'll start with you, Adam.
I'd be pretty confident. I mean, I think we kind of expected a bit of the same against AC Milan. I think I expected AC Milan to actually be a bit of a tougher opponent. I think we just didn't really do ourselves any favours in that game. We were kind of our own worst enemy in that game. But I would expect Porto to be not really pose any danger, but to be a bit of a weaker side than AC Milan were. So I think if we maybe take the same approach we did against AC Milan, but just be a bit more careful defensively, I think we should it could be a rout. It could be a rout, yeah. 3-0, I'm going to say.
We have had history with Porto, especially at their place, and batterings. So, yeah, unfortunately, having them in the group stage, maybe we don't get them in the knockout stages this year. But Owen, I asked you how confident you were earlier. Are you still maintaining that confidence, and what is your score prediction?
Yeah, last time, you just mentioned it, last time we've gone there, the last two times, we've absolutely thumped them. Whether that will be kind of an unlucky thing, this time it's going to be, they're going to be, how do I put it, trying extra hard, and it's going to be harder for us. But I'm fairly confident. I think we should go there and win comfortably. But at the end of the day, you never know, do you? It's one little moment in the game and the whole changes. So who knows?
Yeah. And Chaz, I'm sure we'll be seeing you tomorrow at some point in the pre or post match. So we'll get your thoughts then. But we'll get a cheeky early score prediction now from you.
I'm debating 2, but I'll say 1 now and I'll decide my actual one tomorrow. I'm going to say 4-1 with a Curtis Jones hat-trick. Let's go.
Didn't say 4, did I? Oh, I'll go 2-0.
Excellent. So thank you very much for watching the LFC Transfer Room. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. It'd be amazing for you to do that. That'd be really nice. We've got some sick content coming over recently and even more soon. So we'll catch you in the next live stream and we'll see you tomorrow for the watch long. Cheers.